Hello, my name is Tatiana, and this is Off the Record, brought to you by Nana Music Productions. Happy New Year, everyone! It is now 2026, and we are so thrilled to have another new season of Off the Record. Today, we have a lovely guest in the studio with us. We have Miss Erica Burke. She is one of Nana Music's country music artists, so welcome to the show.
I'm so glad to be here and I'm excited to chat with you.
Absolutely. This songbird is amazing. When I tell you that when you listen to her music on Spotify, it's just you feel like you're in this whole like CMA moment where you're just like with the Country Music Awards, and it's just so wonderful. So I love listening to her music. If you haven't heard it, please, we'll be talking a little bit about it, but please check it out on Spotify and on YouTube and everywhere you can listen to music. But today is the start of a new year, a new day. So before we get started into our discussion, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about yourself as an artist and what got you started in the music, being a musician and songwriter.
Okay, yeah. I am 18 years old. I'm originally from outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and then we moved here to Prattville in 2017 around that time. And yeah, my dad, I grew up singing in church and just singing on the stage. My dad set me up on the stage when I was like 3 years old, to sing. So that's pretty much been a part of my life since I can remember. My dad comes from a musical family, and yeah, so he's definitely played a big role in my musical career. And yeah, so when we moved here, I started a new church. We started a new church, and you know, I started singing there. And about my freshman year of high school, I started writing a little bit. Um, and that was something that I always wanted to do. Like I always wanted to like produce music. Like I've always been big on music. So that was a big thing, but I never could form like a full song. Like I could write like maybe a verse here and a verse there, but like never a full song. So I told my dad about it, and we got with one of our family friends that has actually helped me write a few of my songs. And we wrote that song, and I didn't expect it to like us to produce it and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was just kind of just like something like a little project or something like that. But yeah, we did that. And then after that, the more and more that you write, the more comfortable you get with it, and the more that you can learn things about yourself and learn different ways to write. And ever since then, I've been singing around different areas in Alabama, and just booked a show in North Carolina for over the summer, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm just ready for, this new year to see where it takes me.
And it's going to take us a lot of places. I'll say, as far as the company goes, we are going to be moving artists all over the place. So the fact that you're in North Carolina or you're going to be going to North Carolina just is like, all right, that's just another stop that you're going to be going on
Yeah.
through this year. So as far as your songwriting goes, what are some big influences as far as like songwriters? Like, how do you write? Is it closer to a certain artist that you like, or have you created your own style? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, so I love Megan Maroney. I think that she's great. Obviously she's a new big country artist. But I also am really big on old country. I think that like that's where my heart is. So I listen to Keith Whitley, I listen to Patsy Cline, all these Loretta Lynn, like all these older country artists, and really I think that's where my inspiration comes from, just having the raw, heartfelt, like making sure that the people that are listening, it's something that they can relate to, and just very emotion driven. Um, but yeah, I just really want to like make songs that people can relate to and feel like they're not alone in certain situations. Because a lot of what I write is about relationships, and I've tried to kind of steer away from that and like get some happy songs going. But
Yeah, it's
I
hard
also,
not to do the emotional stuff. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
part of us.
And it's just so easy. Like when you go through things, it's so easy for you to be able to write about it. And I know that that's like kind of my way of coping with things, is like I'm able to put it into a song, which I'm so blessed to be able to do that. But so that's definitely where I feel like my songwriting is.
And I feel that and another statement of this, and let me know if this is true, a lot of what you write is very storytelling. And
Mhm.
so it definitely, yes, of course, tells you where you've been, but also, just different stories that, people can resonate with, like how you were saying.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
wonderful. Well, okay. So again, like I said, this is our New Year's episode. So let's talk a little bit about some resolutions and things that you've learned from 2025. So first of all, did you set any resolutions this year?
I did. I really want to. So my goal, like, I really want to put out an album because I think that that would be great. And I have a bunch of little songs here and there that, like, I'll start writing and then I'll just stop, and then I'll go to another song and start writing and stop. I really want to, because I mean, I have enough to put on an album. I mean, you could put 3 or 4 songs on an album. Obviously, I have more than that, but I just think that that would be like my end goal. I think that that would just like, I mean, I'd feel like I accomplished a
That'd
lot
be
putting
it.
out
Yeah.
an album. So I mean, there's some little things here and there, like just making sure that I think a big thing is staying active on all my social medias because, and I have a really bad habit of I'll stay really active on like TikTok and then my Instagram, like I just completely forget about because, TikTok is such a big like social media app
Hmm.
now that I just kind of just put Instagram on the back burner. But I'm like, I need to keep that up and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So that's another big resolution is just to make sure I stay active.
Girl, it's the same for me too, as far as that content. Thank goodness we have a marketing department because I struggle with posting my own stuff. So I completely understand. And as far as resolutions and like getting my life together, this is my big binder of everything. So when I tell you I got yesterday and just sat down and went through my personal, financial, emotional, spiritual, all that stuff, but then also business. Like
Yeah.
I locked in. So as I told you before the podcast, I went on my run today, so I'm trying to be more fit. So completely not music related, but it's
Yeah.
definitely recentering ourselves, getting ourselves positioned so that way when we do have opportunities like different performances and different songwriting rounds and different opportunities like that, we can say yes and we're able to move. So yeah, so that's one reason why I asked because I was like, I know you have a very good head on your shoulders, and I was like, all right, I wonder what you have planned for
Yeah.
this year.
I mean, there's some things like outside of music, but I think I just really want to stay focused on my music this year
Absolutely.
and hopefully that it, takes off.
Absolutely. So now looking back at 2025, what was a big lesson that taught you as an artist?
Um, I think, I mean, I guess I could go back to the social media thing. I mean, like staying active and just building a relationship with your audience and the people that you have. Because, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of followers, but I think it's great to just create a connection with them and just to really show your personality. And that's something that I've really learned, because I post covers like all the time posting covers, but it's like they're not really getting to know me as a person, me as an artist, if I'm just posting me singing other people. So I've really tried to, that's something that I've really learned and that I'm going to take into 2026 is just really trying to create a bond with the people that follow me and my followers and just show them my personality, who I am as a person, not just, me singing.
Hmm. No, I understand. Yeah, covers they help get people acquainted with you as an artist, but when you are singing your own music and you are able to showcase who you are, that's when people connect with you. So yeah, I completely understand changing up your set list a little bit to have more of your music and or have opportunities where you're only doing your music, so that way people can hear you and the authentic version of Erica. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I'll say as far as I go, the thing that I learned is you have to plan. You have to plan and you have to have plans for your plans because things don't always go as planned. So yeah, just making sure that you have your strategy, you have you're intentional with your actions, intentional with certain decisions and such. And so I know, like for example, one thing that I can speak freely now because we're coming on the year, But, we had our booking artists, and, we had several artists who wanted to book with us. And it wasn't until we were in the throes of it that it was like, oh, we should have been booking months ahead ago. We started the contracts with everyone a little bit too late. And so when we started doing all the bookings, it was like, oh, okay, well, we need to make sure that we're doing this during this time of year instead of this time of year. So now we are kind of conquering that now and starting to get a lot of traction for our artists. So as far as when you were saying like going, booking more and performing more and being out, we will be working more towards that with you and our other booking artists. So if you are one of our artists, they rest assured we have some plans for you this year. But yes, that is something that we kind of humbled our company, but humbled me too, because I was like, okay, we have the resources, we have the ability. It's just we were a little bit late on the ball, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what did last year demand of you that helped you grow creatively or personally?
Let's see. I don't want to keep going back to the social media, but I feel like that was just such a big, like, you know, I guess, and like you said, like making sure that you have a plan. Um, and I mean, I really learned that, I think it's good to, what I'll do is I'll like take one day and I'll make like a couple videos. So that way during the week I'll have, more stuff to post and not, because I can't say like, oh, this day I'll do this, because, you just never know what might come up, or, you could be sick or anything like that. So I think that was something that I guess demanded me, like, just being able to sit down and I guess I could say time, because I mean it does, like, it takes a lot of time to be able to do stuff like that, but I think that in the long run it helps you because you're able to put those videos out
Mhm.
over the span of a week and not just like each day you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we started utilizing with our marketing team was the scheduling components with social media. That helped so much because then our team, all we have to do is take a day or two to design the posts, and then we just schedule them out ahead of time. So basically, maximizing your time management it sounds like what you're talking about is finding ways to make sure that your time is used wisely and that you're not spending time on too much time on things that will rob you from your creativity or from the time that you have for a performance. I know you were also in college and you just finished high school last year too. So a lot of school stuff and different things like that. If you had a part-time job, those things like that, they eat away at our time as creatives. So we have to find ways to reduce the frequency of those kinds of actions and those kind of activities, so that way we have time to be in that creative space. Kind of telling a story because when I was going through college, when I was going through high school, I did everything. I had full loads with my classes. I made sure that I was being as busy as possible because I was trying to get myself out of college and get myself out of high school as quickly as possible. I didn't care too
Yeah.
much for school, but in that, I designated time for my music, and that's when I was writing, that's when I was doing my album, that's when I did my music video, things like that. So, being able to make sure that the time that I was using was used wisely, that really did set the tone for my early years in the industry. Because if I didn't do that, then all I would do is delay, procrastinate. Or if I didn't feel like it, well, I didn't set myself up for success before. So it sounds like you kind of figured that same thing out last
Yeah,
year as well,
definitely.
and so we're conquering that in 2026.
Yes. Yes, for sure, for sure. And I mean, like you said, like, it's hard when you have high school and college and all that kind of stuff. And I started college last year, but, like coming back home this year and not being in college anymore, like, I definitely think that's going to help a lot with having time. I'm obviously going to get a job, but
Mhm.
I think that that'll free my schedule up a lot to really, really dial in and focus on my music and my songwriting and, that kind of stuff.
It's going to be excellent, and you're going to be excellent. So, okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about your music. So, can you talk to us about what you would consider your biggest hit that people should go listen to?
I think the latest one, Can't Hear It Break, I loved that one. I think that the songwriting is just so good. Like, if you like, I just remember like sitting down with our family friend and writing that one, and we just like sat and we were like, I remember him like reading the lyrics out, and he was like, "Man, that's good." Like, "Man, that's good." And it's just, I mean, I just think that it's just like powerful if you really, because you can listen to songs and you're like, oh, I like the beat or like this and that. But like if you take songs and you really listen to the words of them, like, it's a good song when you can listen to the words and you're like, man, like, those are some strong lyrics. So I think that that one, I think it's so good. And I think that also I actually released that one while I was in college. So I was able to get all my sorority friends in on it. And I'm like, hey guys, like y'all go post my song. And so, I mean, like, I think that a lot of people discovered me, posting that and also being at Alabama and having all those people, support me and post me and just be there for me. So I think that my latest one, I think you should go listen to it if you haven't already, because I think that it's pretty great.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't listened to it, people, go listen to it now. Like, finish this episode first and then go immediately go listen to Can't Hear It Break. So yeah, okay. Now, I asked this with our artists and guests. I know we're talking about the new year, we're setting intentions, we're setting expectations. I keep saying my mantra is 2025 was the year of preparation and 2026 is the year of expectation. So everything that we did in 2025 was to prepare us for this year, and we are in the spirit and the season of expectation. But with that, what kind of advice would you advise for a new songwriter, a new artist, someone that says, I want to be like Erica, I want to be like insert songwriter's name here or artist name here? What advice would you give them if they wanted to get their feet wet in music in 2026?
I would just say, just set your mind to it. I mean, I think that if you really have a drive and you really have a passion for something, I think that if you really want it, like you'll be able to achieve it. And yeah, I think that, and just staying yourself, like, because I have people that tell me, you sound like this artist or you sound like this artist. And it's like, well, we already have that artist, like you just really want to be yourself and to create your own voice and your own style. So, I mean, you can be a country artist, you can be a pop artist, an R&B artist, but I mean, really just having your own style and your own views and values. One thing that's really special to me is my faith. I think that that's one thing that I really want to express, and for people when they think of me to not only think that, oh, she's a singer, but oh, God is very important in her life and it's evident in her life that, you know, I just think that having your values and your morals and everything, like, that's going to create you as a person, and people are going to see that through your music.
Yeah, because
That would be my advice.
yeah, I love that. And there were some lovely nuggets in there. So it was not just one piece of advice that you gave to people, which I love that. But your emphasis on God, I will say this much. I also in my big binder of everything, I have like my declaration for the year. And one of the things was like being unapologetic about my relationship and who I am with God. And, you know, the way that I lead my company, lead my friends, lead my family, lead myself, it's all God led and God centered and partnered with Him. And
Mhm.
so I have no fear in talking about that. And I'm just so thrilled to have another artist and to have artists who are unashamed and are bold in that. So, you know, all to say, I'm just very proud of you. So, okay, now here's the moment that you get to plug yourself. So, if people want to follow you or get to know you or want to hear your music or just, you know, see what you're up to, where can they find you and how can they support you?
Okay, so my name is Erica Burke, but my artist name is Erica Rae. Rae's my middle name, so that's kind of what I go by through everything. My Instagram is Erica Rae. I think it's Erica Rae Burke Music. My TikTok is Erica Rae Music. Facebook is Erica Rae. I think that's like about it. Everything else, like my Spotify, Apple Music, anything, Pandora, anything that YouTube, anything that you can listen to music to on, it's all Erica Rae. So yeah, that's all of my social medias, and I stay very, very active, like I said, on TikTok. Go live a lot. That's where I've gotten a lot of followers and a lot of people that, have showed support in me. So that's a big app that I use. But I also use Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think just giving me a follow and just I have a lot of music coming hopefully in 2026. So I think it'll be exciting. But yeah, that's where you can find me. It's Erica Rae.
Fantastic. And while you were talking, I would have already had the banner of all of your stuff down at the bottom. So if anybody had any issues with spellings, it's down there underneath her name. But thank you so much for being on the show. I really enjoyed you. And we will have her back when she has her new singles and new EPs and new albums and tours and all those things. But if you like what you heard today, you can follow the podcast at Nana Music _ off the record. You can follow the company at Nana Music Productions or myself at webwebb.tatiana.m. And just remember, this podcast was off the record.